will talk all about consonants. Consonants are those sounds that are not vowels. They are the opposite of vowels. We talked about consonants when we talked about manner of articulation and place of articulation. And we're going to return back to talk about consonants again. And we're going to practice these so much over the next several days so that you will speak them so clearly. You're going to be able to pronounce them perfectly after these next several days. So this video is going to give you an overview of consonant sounds so that you know all 24 consonant sounds, and then the videos after that will focus more on really practicing those over and over and over. So let's give an overview. And the way I like to introduce consonant sounds is by talking about the difference between voiced and voiceless. Voiced and voiceless. First of all, what is a voice? Well, it's what I'm using right now to talk to you. It's this vibration, like a little vibration in my throat or in my vocal cords or my vocal folds. It's a vibration that happens, that comes out and sounds like something. It sounds like something. That's your voice, right? Well, consonants can either be voiced or voiceless. Now, voiced means that when they're, well, let's start with voiceless. Voiceless happens when your vocal folds are open and air can pass through freely. Let's listen to me say the letter H. Okay? Air from my lungs is coming up through my vocal folds, and my vocal folds are wide open so air can pass through freely. That's a voiceless sound. The vocal folds are open. All of those, it's just air coming through. Okay? So that's voiceless. Now, voiced is when those vocal folds are closed and then they vibrate like this. They vibrate because they're closed, but air is passing through, like shaking the folds so that they bounce together. Let me give you an example of that. Or The way that you know it's vibrating or moving your vocal cords is you can take your hand and put it on your throat. So do this right now. Take your hand, put it on your throat, and you can feel vibration when you make the sound Can you feel your throat moving, vibrating? That's a voiced sound, okay? Now let's try the sound again. Take your hand, put it on your throat, and say, do you feel a vibration? No. Do it again. And let's try Do you feel the difference in your throat? Another way you can check between voiceless and voiced is you take a piece of paper in front of your mouth and then make the sound again. Do you feel air on the piece of paper? Does it wave the piece of paper? Or do you feel it on your hand? there's air coming out. But a voiced sound like there's no air hitting your hand or the paper. No air. Okay, that's a voiced sound. So let's go through all of the voiceless sounds first, and then we will do the voiced sounds, okay? Sound good? All right, let's start with voiceless sounds. The voiceless sounds, repeat after me. P, t, k, f, s, sh, ch, oh my goodness, I feel lightheaded. All that air coming out. Now, notice how silent or quiet these sounds are. This is because they are voiceless. They don't have that vibration in the vocal cords. They're voiceless. And by the way, I hope you're reading along with these as we do this so that you can see what sounds I'm doing. But you know, the first one was p, like in park, park. You'll notice that with park, that first sound is voiceless. Now let's look at the difference between park and bark. Park and bark. Do you hear a difference? The first one is voiceless in the beginning. It's that p sound. But the second one is voiced. B, bark. B, bark. Let's do the whole list of voiced consonants. Repeat after me. B, D, G, V, Z, J, J, W, L, R, Y, Okay, good job. Those are our voiced consonants, and our voiced consonants have that vibration through here. So why is this important? Well, it's important because oftentimes English learners mix up or make a mistake with what sounds are voiced and what are voiceless. And if you make a voiced sound when it should be voiceless, then you're going to be pronouncing something in a very confusing way and people won't understand you. So you have to speak clearly. You need to know the difference between voiced and voiceless so that you can speak clearly and people can understand you. So this list is worth practicing over and over. And let me show you one more difference. Before, we talked about p and b. P, b. In that situation, you are using your mouth in the same way. Both lips come together, p, b. But the only difference is what you're doing in your vocal cords. P, b. But this stays the same. Okay, we're going to get a lot of practice with this in the coming days. So the days that come next, you're going to see really specifically how to pronounce things. So don't fear if you don't have it all correct, okay? But let's go through these comparisons really quickly and watch my mouth, watch how I form each one so that you can pay attention to that and then pay attention to the voiced and voiceless aspect. So we will always say the voiceless one first. Voiceless first. Repeat after me. P, B, park, bark. T, D, town, down. K, G, coat, goat. F, V, fan, van. S, Z, sip, zip. Sh, zh, sure, treasure. Let me do that one again. Sure, treasure. There's not a word that starts with zh, which is why I had to put it in the middle. Okay. The next one is ch, j, chain, Jane. Th, thigh, thy. And now let's move on to the other sounds that don't have a match in the other category. Hello. Mom. Nap. Wide. Love. Red. Yellow. Sing. You're pulling up the tongue in the back there. Okay, good job. And let's go through these sounds one more time. I'm going to move in closer so you can see my mouth very closely and you can see what my mouth is doing. Ready? P, T, K, F, S, Sh, Ch, B, D, G, V, Z, J, J, W, ol, y, There you have it. Those are your 24 consonant sounds, and I hope that helped a lot. Make sure you go back and practice that section again at the end and pay attention to how my mouth is moving. And think again about the place of articulation and the manner of articulation. These are really important for consonant sounds. Great job, everybody.